In this video, we take a deep dive into how to photograph the Milky Way, the best techniques for reducing noise in your photograph, plus a few post-processing techniques with Photoshop. All right, let's get it. Alright, good people, we're here and we're on a secret mission at the secret jetty. I got my bro Shano here with me. Say hi, mate.
Hey.
Well, my main man, he's out with me today backing me up, so it's really nice to have him aboard. But we're out at this what we call the secret jetty. It's like a little back jetty here where we live, and we're here to shoot the Milky Way. And the conditions are looking absolutely amazing. No moon tonight, it's going to be super dark. We do have a tiny bit of light pollution you'll see on this overlay map here, but it's in the green, not too bad for this area. It's going to look really, really nice, I reckon. So we've got a few fun things planned for this shot, including maybe getting myself or Shano in the shot using a bit of human element, which is going to be really, really fun. Stick around and I'll take you step by step through my whole workflow, how to capture the Milky Way, and do a bit of post-processing too. So going to be another fun one. All right, so we're all set up now for our foreground shot, and it's about 30 minutes after sunset now, so we're getting that nice glow now, looking really, really cool. So what I've decided to do is get a bit higher in the tripod, and you can see here that foreground jetty just looks absolutely amazing, leading line right through the center there, and I think we'll have the human element out here, probably myself or Shano, we'll see. And the main thing that was important about this composition is to make sure that end of that jetty doesn't intersect anywhere with that horizon line. I want a nice clean intersection there on that horizon line. That's the important thing. So the thing is now we're focusing about a third here. F8, we're on about, you know what, I'm gonna bump the ISO up just a little bit so I can get that shutter speed. I know it's so long. I'm gonna go up to ISO 500 now. And that'll allow me to get my shutter speed up to, let's have a look here, just so the shadows aren't clipping too much. We're at about 3 seconds, and I'm just basically shooting for the shadow, shooting for the foreground jetty right now. So let's play that back and let's zoom in. Oh, there's some nice side light on that jetty too, really. Oh, that's beautiful. So everything is nice and sharp there. We're actually sharp front to back. Let's double check right in the foreground. Yep, foreground's nice and sharp. Background's nice and sharp, perfect. So now, what I want to do is take a few different underexposed shots just to make sure we've got all that sky and all that glow, just in case we want to blend that in with our Milky Way a bit later on. The reason why I love shooting the foreground right at this blue hour time too, because you can get a really clean foreground. You've got that nice glow out there, and you can get that transition from that glow up to your Milky Way later on, almost like a sunset to Milky Way shot, which is going to look really, really cool. So I think that's the foreground in the bag now. I'm really, really happy with that. Now we've got about an hour to wait, about an hour and a half to wait for the Milky Way, and yeah, it's going to look amazing. I'm feeling like this is going to come together beautifully. It's such a peaceful night. This is living. This is living. All right, so it's about that time of night. We're going to try and add the human element. Now, I've had Shano out there as my test subject, but the problem we had, Shano's a little bit shorter than me, and his head and neck was getting caught up in the horizon line. So, like a good buddy should, he's going to press the shutter button for me, and I'm going to get out there and be the subject. So let me head out there. And actually, you can see now it's getting really dark. So what I'm going to try here, F8, I'm going to go up to 2000 ISO and 4 seconds, because I've got to stand really, really still and just see how this goes. So the other thing I've got to watch is there's all these bloody holes along the jetty here. I nearly fell in a minute ago. So epic fail. And by the way, we've got this light that's going to light up around me, and hopefully this is going to work. It's a bit of a test. What do you think, Shano? Yeah? All right, take the shot. Well, my neck looks janky. I was holding the light with my neck, so. So it's a bit of playing around with this one, guys. Like it's just, yeah, there's no like, must be like this. Let's have a look anyway what we got there. Oh, that one's actually kind of cool. It looks like I'm flying. There's a weird glow under my arms, which is kind of cool. I actually don't mind that one, but you can see on the back there how my head and shoulders are above the horizon line. That was really, really important for this part of the shot. So you can see that's the one there. I'm thinking with my arms out. You can see that's the one without my arms out, and then there's the one with my arms out. Oops, it's that one. Yeah, so I think that's the better one. But you can see my shoulders and head are way above the horizon line there, and I think that's the key, just to making this composition look a bit better. Coolio, nice. So yeah, I think we've got about, what time is it, Jono?
6, right?
6. So yeah, we've still got about an hour until that blue hour is over and the Milky Way is going to be at its strongest tonight. So an hour to go, and yeah, we'll start shooting for the stars. Hell yeah. All right, so the blue hour is over. It's now that time to start shooting the Milky Way, shooting the stars. But I've run into a little issue. I knew about it, but I didn't think it'd be as bad as what it is. And let me show you on the back of the camera. So here's our composition here on the back of the camera, and you can see that light pollution from the town over there was just too much for me. I just don't like the result of that. So what I've opted to do is point up and shoot up a bit higher and get my Milky Way. You can see there's my Milky Way shot there for my sky. So it's a lot cleaner Milky Way image, and I'll be able to drop that on top for my vertical panorama with that foreground we shot earlier. All right, so let me give you a few tips on getting your camera set up for the Milky Way. Number one is you want to be in manual, okay? And you also want to have your camera, your lens as wide open as possible. So 2.8, f.4, whatever you got, have it as wide open as possible. The other thing you want to make sure you do is you set your white balance, the Kelvin value for about 4,000, 4,500, because we are going to take multiple frames, and I'll explain why we do that in a minute. The other thing you want to do is manual focus. All right, so let's jump on the back of the screen here, and what I want to do is just show you how to get focus on the Milky Way, all right? So we're going to zoom in there, and what I'm going to do is while my LCD is zoomed in there, I want to find a really bright star. So I'm going to go up in the frame till I find myself a nice bright star up there. There we go. All right, so there's some nice bright ones right in the middle there. Then I'm going to rack my focus back and forth, and you can see they get pinned sharp. So out of focus there, into focus there, and you can see that's getting nice and sharp. All right, so now we've got our focus, we have to get our exposure right. And one thing you need to know with the stars, they're constantly moving all the time. So we don't want our shutter speed longer than 10 to 15 seconds. Otherwise, we'll start to get star trails and not those pin sharp Milky Way stars we're after. It's really, really important. Now, there are some calculators. Photopills has some calculators and things like that. But in general, if you're shooting that 14 to 16 mil, 10 to 15 seconds at the most is the most your shutter speed can go. So we're wide open on our lens, 2.8, f4, whatever your lens is, however wide it goes open. And then we're going about 10 seconds I'm at the moment, and you want to bump your ISO up. And you are going to get noisy shots, but I'm going to tell you how to deal with that in a minute, okay? So 4,000 ISO at the moment, and then we're just going to 2-second timer on, hands away, and then we can take our shot. And it's always important, once you take your shot, to make sure those stars are nice and sharp. So here we go, 10 seconds here. And I'm going to press play. I'm going to zoom in on my stars there and have a look, and you can see they're beautiful and sharp. Because we went into manual focus and we zoomed in on the LCD, those stars are pin sharp. Now, how are we going to deal with that high noise? So basically what you want to do, you want to take about 10 frames with those settings, okay? They say once you get to 10, there's diminishing returns on the amount of noise reduction that you can get from your frames. So 10's a good number. So we want to take about 10 frames. And then in software, I'll show you how to stack them together to get the noise. So one thing you have to know about noise is really random in your photographs. So when we take those 10 images and we merge them together with this special software, it reduces the noise and leaves you with a really clean Milky Way image. It's really unbelievable what the software does. But the key thing in the field is we want 10 images of the Milky Way so that we can stack them together to get rid of that noise. All right, good people, that's it for the fieldwork bit. Oh, I just love shooting Milky Ways. It's so much fun, and hanging out with your mates here under the stars, just awesome, man. This is living. All right, let's get back on the computer and I'll show you how I put this one together. All right, before we jump over to the post-processing tips, I want to give a shout out to the people who've been sharing my videos, and a reminder, if you're enjoying these videos and you want to share the photography love, and you want to help me with my goal of reaching as many photographers as possible to help them on their photography journey, all you need to do, share this video somewhere, share it with your friends, your photography friends, share it out in your socials, and just drop a comment below that you've shared it, and I'll be in touch and I'll post-process one of your photographs, one of your raw files for you, and give you a bit of an image critique, just to give a little bit back to you for sharing this video out and helping me get the word out about what I'm doing here. All right, let's jump over to the post-processing. Check this out. So here's the final photograph. I'll start with that because I'm just really happy how the final photograph turned out. Just absolutely awesome. Look at the Milky Way. And there's me and that initial blue hour shot we took of that. Look at the detail in there, it's just awesome. So really happy with that final photograph. I think it turned out amazing. Now let's talk about a few things. So what I ended up doing, these were my star shots. You can see they're nice and sharp. Wasn't really happy with the Milky Way. You can see the noise as you zoom in there. But one thing that is important, if I go to the development module here, you can see if your histogram, okay, looks like this, okay, then your shot is underexposed, okay? And there's two things you can do. You can go up to that maximum sort of 15 seconds, or what you can do is bump that ISO up even more, you know, even up to 6400 if you have to, okay? So you can see if I reset mine, there's a little bit, it's not totally crushed in the left-hand side. There's a little bit of light coming out here into the mid-tones area, and that's what you're looking for in your histogram. Really important that your histogram doesn't look like this, okay? And you can check that in the field. I forgot to mention it when I was out there, but an important tool in the field is take note of that histogram when you're getting your exposure right. Okay, so what I decided to do was use the sky from another Milky Way shoot. I just like the galactic core, which is this bit in this shot better, and I think that worked out way better than these ones I did take in the field, which they're still okay. It would have worked out fine, but I think this is a much stronger galactic core, and I really wanted to use that. So the process for stacking these images together is really simple. I'll list some software below. So the one I use on my Mac is called Starry Landscape Stacker, and I think that works for Windows as well. But there's another one I'm pretty sure it's called Equinox or something like that for Windows as well that you can get. So I'll link them below in the video so you can get access to those. But so the process is, I just like to do a basic edit in here. So even if you want to start with auto, I usually turn the saturation vibrance down, pull those highlights back a bit. The key here is bumping those whites up a little bit. Just getting a little bit of white there is the go. So then we're gonna do that on the first image. We're gonna highlight, hold shift down, highlight the whole row, and then I'm gonna hit this synchronize button, and I'm just gonna check all, okay? And then I'm going to hit synchronize, and it's basically going to take the settings from the first one and apply it to the last one, okay? Now if you hit Command Shift E, or if you want to, you can go back into the grid mode. Make sure your 10 photos are selected there, and we want to hit export. So a couple of things we want to make sure. We want to make sure that we are on TIFF here. We want the highest resolution possible for blending these images together for our sky. We want to also make sure that we've got 16-bit here selected. That's important to make sure the highest resolution, no compression here. But what we can do is we can export out to our other application. So I'm going to say open in other application, and then I'm going to go down here and hit choose. And I'm going to go down here to my application list till I see Starry Landscape Stacker, which is this software here. I'm going to go choose, and then I'm just going to hit the export button. Alright, so here's our software here open. This is Starry Landscape Stacker, and on the left hand side you just basically work from top to bottom, okay? And you'll see add red dots and erase red dots. Basically all you're trying to do is give the software a rough idea where the sky is, okay? So if you've got foreground in your shot, see I'm just adding a few more dots up here. You don't have to do this, but it just helps the software find if there's more sky down here, just add a few more dots. Now you can also erase dots. If I go over here and hit the erase dots, say there was one down here that I wanted to move, delete, you know, say I put one in the wrong place down here, or something was on my foreground here element. So we're just trying to help the software determine where the sky is against the foreground, okay? And the next thing we do, we just hit this find sky button, and it's just going to go and do a mask here. Now, from this part, you can see the blue is basically the mask. So I can now paint areas that it's missed like this, fix this up, And I can also remove areas. So say I click ground now and I was to paint something down here, I can remove it from that area. Obviously, I'm just going to undo that because that is still the sky. But you can paint, you know, take some of that blue mask off your foreground element, okay? And then all we've got to do is hit align and compose. Really, really simple. Oh, look at that, beautiful. All right, so let's zoom in. You can see nice and sharp. That noise has been reduced by heaps. That Milky Way looks absolutely amazing. Loving that. And then from here, all we need to do is save it out. So save current image, and then you can just choose a location wherever you want to put it, and then hit the save button. And I had the one there from previously, and that's it. You've now got your image that you're going to use to blend in to your foreground image over in Photoshop. Alrighty, so here we are over in Photoshop, and you'll notice a couple of things. I've removed a lot of those boats. They were distracting elements for me. Wasn't happy how they look, so I've removed all those from this image now. And you'll see I have blended in, I'm pretty sure that's the person shot there. So I've just taken this part of the shot of me, put myself on the deck there, the one I took a little bit later. Now you're probably thinking, why didn't I take those images together? It's because I really wanted the blue hour shot to get that amazing detail and that sort of side light you can see coming on the scene there. Those orange rocks look absolutely amazing. But I wanted to use the light to add something different to the person, so it needed to be a bit darker for that. So that's why I've taken those shots at 2 different times. And then we've added our sky image here. So let's have a look. So this is the sky image here, and you'll see it's blended in up. I think one of these is the blend. Let's have a look. Yeah, so there's the blended layer there, and that's our final photograph. So you can see, absolutely cool. I'm not going to go into too much detail because it'd be like an hour tutorial by the time I got through it all. But the basic structure of this is I shot the foreground, I've shot myself separately, shot the foreground to get the detail, shot myself separately, added that in just as that human element, cleaned up the boats and had that amazing, just left that one boat there with the side light, and then using a bit of a graduated transition here, if we click this, you can see that's that graduated transition from our foreground to our Milky Way there, and that's given us that sort of afterglow here, you can see up to the Milky Way, which I think is cool, sort of that, you know, that sunset to night transition, which I think looks really, really awesome. Alright good people, that's it for this one. If you're not subscribed and you're enjoying these videos, please do, it's free. You just log into your Google account on YouTube and hit the subscribe button. It's just like following another social media network, so I really appreciate the support, helping me get to my 5K subs. And as always, I hope you enjoyed this, and if you've got any questions about Milky Way photography, drop them in the comments below. More than happy to help you out there. And as always, stay inspired, keep creating, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.